Well, let's discuss a little bit about what took place last night. Donald Trump, of course, won the New Hampshire primary by slightly more than 10 points, underperforming the polls, but still significantly defeating Nikki Haley. Haley did make clear, at least as of her speech last night, that she intends on staying in the race despite that result, but that's sort of what you say until the second you drop out, as we saw from Ron DeSantis. But because you're hearing all that everywhere else, I actually want to start with something a little bit different in this segment. Let's check in on, oh no, Marjorie Taylor Greene. What was she up to last night at Trump HQ? Well, she repeatedly embarrassed herself, I think it's fair to say, and we'll get to that in just a second. We'll also later dive into a few moments from Trump's speech, one that made me nearly throw up. It was so cringy. But first, on Marjorie, I do want to preface this with, I was seeing a bunch of people online commenting on how she just seemed to be acting strange in these interviews, possibly, celebrating the Trump victory a little bit too much. And I like to keep this show about substance, so I'm not going to go there. I'm just not, okay? I have no idea if she had a few too many champagnes last night. I don't know. I don't know if she was inebriated while she was on Newsmax or whatever it might be, and maybe that's why she was acting so strange. I just think that's a waste of our time. Is she drunk? Is she not? Why would I even waste time on the show speculating about something that I couldn't possibly know for sure? Here's Marjorie saying, political consultants who support Nikki Haley should go to jail. And while this clip is playing, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel and the alert bell is clicked.
Oh,
and I'm going to jump up here with you.
And a good jump up.
How's it going?
We're live on the air, and I just was talking about Mike Lindell. Now we're going to talk about you. Of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene joining us here at the watch party.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, how's it going?
You asked how Arizona is? Corrupt.
Yeah. Mike, how's it going? How you doing?
Doing fine.
Glad you're here.
All right, we're glad you're here.
Yeah.
Made it in here. It's a lot of people here.
Oh my gosh, it's great. This is going to be the biggest victory. I tell you what, Nikki Haley may not drop out after tonight. She might be dumb enough to go all the way to South Carolina, where she will be defeated and it'll be embarrassing. But we just heard an interesting statistic, Brian. This primary is over with. Can you imagine being a donor and lighting your money on fire like that? Donating to Nikki Haley, begging her to stay in the race. I mean, these political consultants, they should go to jail for continuing this campaign. I mean, it is so dishonest, I can't even believe it.
Obviously she would say she was kidding, but it seems to be that's the new type of MAGA humor. You just intertwine all of your jokes with a little touch of authoritarianism. It's crazy. Trump says, I'm going to be a dictator on day one. And he said, let's not have elections. I'm just kidding. Marjorie says, arrest opposition political consultants or something. Oh, we're just having such a good time. Then, and I hope Marjorie was inebriated when she said this, because otherwise it's as humiliating as it gets. She had this to say
right now.
So we can officially say the Biden-Harris campaign has dementia, just like the president. They forgot to put him on the ballot and their voters are having to write it in, and he's losing. Joe Biden is losing the write-in here in New Hampshire. You can't say anything more pathetic than that.
You can't make that up. Well, Jimmy Kimmel will write about that tomorrow night on his show.
So first of all, Biden won last night. I'll get back to that. But also X had to fact check that claim, saying Marjorie Taylor Greene is incorrect. The Biden campaign didn't forget to file. They were following the Democratic National Committee rules for 2024 delegate selection rules, which set South Carolina as the first Democratic primary of the 2024 presidential election cycle. But then, and we'll get to another Marjorie clip in just a second, but it's true that Biden wasn't on the ballot last night. So that part of what Marjorie said was true. But he still won in a landslide because people wrote him in. He literally wasn't on the ballot because of that dispute that X noted, but still won in a landslide. Wasn't showing up in New Hampshire to campaign, and nearly 70% of people wrote his name in instead of voting for the people who were on the ballot, like Dean Phillips or Marianne Williamson. But I keep being told nobody in the Democratic Party wants him to be the nominee. Very interesting. A writing campaign. That's really crazy. And then we move to another Marjorie Greene moment. And guys, I've unfortunately, because of this job, watched a ton of minutes of Marjorie Taylor Greene over the last couple of years. And she's definitely like I've never seen her before. And this one, here it is.
These are fake fake numbers. Nikki Haley does not have this much support. She's going to come out and claim that she's rising in the polls. All these fake news media people up here on this platform are going to claim that Nikki Haley is rising in the polls. It's a total, complete lie. Absolute lie. Tonight, Nikki Haley was defeated. The problem is she's going to be dumb enough and she's going to be a fake candidate and she's going to keep going and we're going to destroy her in South Carolina. It's going to be a complete humiliation. I can't wait to see it happen.
So aside from the weird vibes she's giving off, once again, extremely dishonest and dangerous what she's saying, that these are fake numbers. They're not, of course. And also, this is yet another reminder of the fact that Trump and MAGA, they're sore losers, of course, as we know, the whole trying to overthrow American democracy thing. But they're also sore winners. It's so weird. Why do you have to cry fraud when you win? You should never do it, of course. And they're constantly assaulting the belief in our election systems by constantly crying fraud. But you really have no reason to do it whenever you win. It's like when Trump said that undocumented immigrants were the reason that he lost the popular vote against Hillary Clinton. Wild. Then Marjorie, earlier in the night, a little bit more on her game, I guess you would say, said this.
This is a referendum on the Republican Party, and that's something I'll be saying in my speech tonight. This is a true change for the Republican Party. It says that not only do we support President Trump, we support his policies. And any Republican that isn't willing to adapt these policies, we are completely eradicating from the party. So it's up to Nikki Haley what she does.
Eradicating, she says. And this is what people like me have been trying to tell everyone. The MAGA part of the GOP, it's not going to be satisfied until they're the only part of the GOP. And that's what's so dangerous about these next few years. And what that means is we can't be satisfied until the MAGA movement is completely politically irrelevant, not winning positions of power, not wielding control in Congress, etc. And that means we obviously have to vote, organize, motivate others to get involved. And I do think this serves as a reminder of what I've also been trying to convince people of, which is that democracy-loving, sanity-loving, decency-loving Americans have to vote against the Republican Party in its entirety until it's no longer the Trump party. And that's what a lot of centrists struggle to get on board with. It's not about voting a little Republican here and there, but then voting against Trump, sure, but then back to voting Republican. It's about rejecting the entire party so that their only option, if they want to exist as a politically viable party, is to push out the MAGA wing. That's the only way that this is going to happen. And it's important to communicate that to people. So earlier I mentioned that MAGA seems to be sore losers and sore winners. And on that note, here's Trump at last night's speech commenting on the attire of Nikki Haley.
I felt I should do this because I find in life you can't let people get away with bullshit, okay? You can't. You just can't do that. And when I watched her in the fancy dress that probably wasn't so fancy come up, I said, what's she doing? We won. And she did the same thing last week, but he was much more angry about it than I was. I said, get up there and you let him know.
So taking time out of his speech to convey his feeling that Nikki Haley's dress wasn't nice enough for him or something. Insane. And then in this moment, he seems to indicate he has some dirt on Nikki Haley.
And just a little note to Nikki, she's not going to win. She's not going to win. But if she did, she would be under investigation by those people in 15 minutes. And I could tell you 5 reasons why already. Not big reasons. A little stuff that she doesn't want to talk about. But she will be under investigation within minutes. And so would Ron have been. But he decided to get out. He decided to get out.
So also crazy, and he's not under investigation because he's winning. He's under investigation and has been indicted because he allegedly committed like a lot of crimes. He's been doing a lot of criming, according to prosecutors. Then, and before I play this clip, if you're eating something right now, set it aside. Be careful with this one. It's nauseatingly cringy. Here it is.
Did you ever think that she actually appointed you, Tim? And think of it, appointed, and you're the senator of his state, and she endorsed me. You must really hate her. No, it's a shame. It's a shame. Uh-oh.
I just love you.
No, that's why he's a great politician.
It hurts. It really hurts. Ooh. Tim Scott, this is going to be your legacy. You chose to throw your backbone, integrity, dedication to the Constitution, dedication to the country into the trash. Then, get this, you bagged up the trash and took it to the dumpster. Then the dumpster truck came and took it to the landfill. And now your backbone, integrity, dedication to the Constitution, dedication to the country are rotting away in a landfill. All because you wanted the political gain that you believe comes with being Donald Trump's ally. It's sickening. And that goes for every Republican who is endorsing Donald Trump. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, and you can become a member at lukebeasleyshow.com/membership.